Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're doing good today. So I have some, by the way, I am Beckie Belote. I am a creative memories advisor in Newport News, Virginia. And today I'm going to be showing you some tips using your field fence border punch. If you want to follow along with me and try some of these things, grab some scrap paper. You'll want your repo, you'll want your straight trimmer, and your precision point scissors. I might even be making up that name, but the little ones, I think micro scissors. All right. And this really is the field fence. I know last week I was calling this punch the wrong name. It is Infinity Heart. So if you could not find Infinity Rose, I had roses on my mind and you all know why, but Infinity Heart. So sorry about that for last week. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully my sweet little animals will, they were really good last week, weren't they? I mean, I forgot to even comment. I couldn't believe how good they were. So let's get into this before they're bad. All right. So, first of all, just, how to use the border punch. I'm gonna do a quick fence for you right here. When you use the border punch, there's little black things right here that you line your paper up with ordinarily, just to do a straight punch. And then once you punch once, you make sure that your paper is covering up the blue outline underneath, and that way you'll get a perfect border every time. I'm gonna go through. I don't know if you can see it. I'm doing this upside down, which makes this punch look harder than it is, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so we've got a beautiful field fence here. All right, so it definitely looks like a fence like this, but when I look at punches, I like to try to think of things that will make it look a little bit different. So one of the things that will make it look a little bit different is if you knock off these little knobs. So I wanted to show you how to do that easily. I am going to grab another color though, because this is not going to show up well for you. So if you want to knock off the knobs to give it a different look, what you'll want to do on the really pretty pointy end, so there's a pointy end and then there's a kind of a haggard end. On the pointy end, if you'll just line the point, let me get these out of the way, these little scraps. Just line the point up to the very edge of the mat strip. Okay, so the little points on those little knobbies are on the very edge of your mat strip. Put your finger like on one of these to hold it in place when you close it up so it doesn't move. And my carriage blade is down here. I'm going to kind of give it some support up here. I don't want it to move. Once I get up here, I'm going to hold it down here so it doesn't slide. And there you go. You got all your knobs off. Now, sadly, it doesn't work like that on the other side. On the other side, these little knobbies are a little longer than the pointy knobbies. So pointy knobbies on the edge of the gray strip. The other ones, what you're going to do, if you look at your gray strip, there's another little, it's like a groove in manufacturing there, a little tiny groove. It doesn't have a black mark on it. It's just a groove right on the other side of that mat strip. If you'll line those knobbies up there, I think that that's what works on this. Let me double check if I'm telling you right. Yeah. That's where you want them. You want those little knobbies lined up with that little line there, and then you should get another really good cut. Again, you need to hold it somewhere in place so it doesn't move when you shut it up. I'm going to put some firm support here so it doesn't move. I'm going to go up here, put some forms, and there you go. All right, so that's how you get the knobbies off and get a nice, clean, different look. All right, so now what I want to show you is some different looks that you can do with it. So what if you cut yourself, find yourself a piece of paper that you like. In fact, a piece of paper that you like both sides of, and go ahead and cut yourself a 3/4 inch strip. 3/4 inch strip. So that's just one line short from the 1 inch. So, and it looks about this thick. All right, so that's 3/4 inches. And then go ahead and cut yourself some 1 inch strips from your 3/4 inch strips. Just 1 inch. All right, so the reason why I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and do another, is just to show you an idea. If you cut a 3/4 inch strip, you can put it behind your strip to get this look. The reason why I then cut them in, and that's beautiful, right? That would be absolutely beautiful. All right, another look though, I wanted to give you some options. I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this. And I'm using Repo. Why Repo? Because it's got holes in it. All right, and if we were going to use the other kind of adhesive, you'd have to be really careful across these holes. And I don't have to be really careful across those holes because it's sticking to the paper and not to the holes. All right, so then what you can do is you can quickly put these little things on. I'm going to put one color up and then the other color up, one color up and then the other color up. And then when you get the other side, it looks like you were really creative to get this different look. Do you like that? So 3/4 inch strip and then 1 inch if you want this alternating look. Otherwise, don't cut it at all and let it go all the way down. Okay, is that cool? All right, so you know how to do your knobbies. You knew how to get your knobbies off. All right, so let's look at a different idea. I'm going to go ahead and use this one again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy so that the big X mark that you see here is in the groove. And if you are not confident yet with this to know where exactly it is cutting, use your little, these guys right here are to help you. All right, so there's a little black mark on here that you may or may not be able to see on my screen. And I want that black mark to be cutting down right down the middle of those X's. And I'm not liking the way it looks. This one right here definitely is off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide it over and I'm going to look again. All right, I'm going to hold it. This one's tricky to hold because I guess it's just not going to be able to hold. I'm going to put my little scissors in there before I let it flop. And now we're going to test it again. Now that end looks good and this end looks good. Firm hand here to hold it in place. We just don't want any movement to occur. You know, there's not a lot holding on to it when you just have a really thin strip. So then we get this look. All right. And let's go ahead and plop that on something like maybe this white so you can see it better. So you can see how we can have a totally different look now by separating it like this. You could do another totally different look like this. With these pretty, these things right here, I might even color those in with my dot pens if I was trying to add more color, like you could put different colors in these. Is that pretty? Another thing that you could do, which actually I picked a very bad color combination here because I don't think you're going to be able to see this as nicely, but you'll be able to see it on my samples. Where I flipped one so that there's actually two different colors here. All right, I don't like that because you can't see the two different colors, but I'm going to hold it up. If this were, and you're going to see it on my samples, if this was more prominent, this would be even more pretty. Okay, so that's another look where you flip one over and then put them back together for a two-toned look. All right, okay, so I wanted to show you that. Another thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to go ahead. I guess I'm going to go ahead and use my white one because I already have it cut. And I'm going to do another white one real fast. just a second. Hopefully I'm going to hit this right. I'm going to shortchange my piece of paper here. All right. Yeah, that one's not perfect because of my poor start. All right, but that's okay. And then what I'm going to do, I am going to leave my knobs on for this, just for the fun of it. You'll see one without the knobs on. Let's get a prettier piece of paper. Let's try this. We're going to do a 3/4 inch strip, and another 3/4 inch strip. And then I'm going to stick them on this. Let's see. What I am doing when I'm doing this is I might be getting some adhesive on my tabletop. And if you feel that there, you should wipe it off. I don't feel too much there. I'm going to go ahead and pick a side to put on this. Repo is going to let you situate it very nice. All right, then what I want you to do okay, so leave the knobs on if you want, take the knobs off if you don't want, doesn't really matter for what I'm getting ready to teach you how to do. All right, so go ahead and kind of figure out where the middle is. You can do a little fold, a little kind of a fold. Actually, it's right there. Very obvious with these. It's going to be that middle thing. All right, and then what I want you to do on one of them is I want you to find that middle one again, and put it on your diagonal here, your little diagonal guy. It doesn't really matter. I can put the knobs onto it. If the knobs were gone, you would put the actual border against it. Either way, around the place of this. In fact, I'm going to put it right smack on there so that we'll do the same thing on the other one. All right. And we're going to cut, and we're going to put these aside. Now pay attention. On this next one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to flip it over. Okay. So again, that middle one was about here. I'm going to kind of put that in the middle, line up on that edge, on that diagonal line, and go like that. And when you do that, what you have created is a really nice corner look. So we can put these two together there in a corner, and we can put these two together in another corner. So we could do like that, or they could be upside down, however you want them. Do you like that? All right, so we have learned that skill. The last thing that I want to show you, I told you were going to like this one, didn't I? Last week, tell you about this little issue that we were going to like. All right, so another thing that you can do is you can go around the corners. By the way, here's my, here's that same look that I did with, remember how I told you I would show you one more dramatic with the different colors. So there's one that looks like that. And then this is the one where I cut them and then put them back together so that the front and back of the paper were showing, so that we have two different colors on this. And then I actually did that same skill this way, just show you some really pretty looks with this. Do you like it? Woohoo! All right, so I like it. So this next skill that I'm going to show you, you can get this look for your paper. If you trim off part of it, you can get more of this look if you want for your corners. Is that cool? And I see you putting some kind of decoration there. Like, I'm just going to grab whatever I have. Here's like something from our National Scrapbook Day embellishments. You could punt something to put it there. You could put a little bling right there. You could put you know, maybe an ABC, like a family sticker or something. Okay. So, so that you can get this look from trimming it off from this. I'm going to teach you how to do this. So to do this, very simple. You are not going to line up to the traditional places though. You are going to line up so that your piece of paper is at the edge here. If in doubt, I would rather it be a little farther. Don't go to this white ledge. You will not like that for some of the other skills that I'm teaching you, where you can just see the white. I don't want you to see any of it. Cover it up, all right? And then punch. And then rotate the corner and then do the same thing over here. So I'm just rotating the corner and I'm doing the same thing, getting it over that hump. And then if you want to do another one, you can. All right. And then you can see that if I were to trim this off, hit my trimmer for myself. What did I line it up with? I think when I trimmed this off, I let this part of the fence, I always like a visual to line up with, and I let this part of the straight piece that's cut line up with this side of the mat strip. And that way I have something the same to line up with on the other side. So on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. So this flat edge right here, I'm going to line up with this side of the mat strip. Again, you could put that anywhere you want to. And then what you're going to see is that this is connected here, but it does fold back nicely. So I'm going to fold it back and then snip it with my little cool scissors here. These are designed to get into tight crevices. So then you have a really cool little corner embellishment there. Okay. So the other thing, and again, do you like the little knobbies? Great. If you don't like the little knobbies, just trim them off. When it's partial like this, it's probably just as fast to hand snip them. You can snip just one side, which is what I did on mine. I think it looks good with just one side snipped and leave the other one there. To get that look, it's a little bit cleaner. You like it? All right. And then the last skill that I want to show you is, what if you wanted to go all the way around a piece of paper to get a look like this? All right, so this one I went all the way around the piece of paper. This would be for your little embellishments. If you put a corner embellishment, is that cute? Doesn't really match, but it's cute, right? All right, so let's do that one. This is where it's going to be very important that you go over the edge, or you don't cut this. You remember how I said make sure that you go, if anything, go over the edge. Don't go this way. Go this way, or else it won't go all the way around for you. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to rotate, do the same thing over here. I'm going to do all my corners. I'm going to do this one, rotate over the edge, do the same thing, cut here, rotate, do this edge, and then the last corner here, rotate, and here. And now we're going to fill in the spaces. And if you've gone over the edge enough, it will work perfectly. If you don't, one of your pickets will be cut off. Not your pickets, but your little crisscross. Right here, this is what happens. So somehow I didn't do it perfect, but sometimes it'll be gone completely. That one is, not that big a deal to me. I would have liked it to look better since we're live, but since it doesn't, what that means is I probably should have gone over the edge just a little bit more. Let's see, that one's a little bit better, not perfect. Go in there. Okay, that one looks really good, huh? And one more. All right, there you have it. Super cute, huh? And then if you want to then put 3/4 inch strips behind it, then you would have the two-tone if you like that. Otherwise, whatever you put this on, the color is going to show through those holes. All right. Again, if you want to snip out these little things, snip them out. If you don't want to snip them out, don't snip them out. But you could actually, because this is all intact, you really could use your trimmer on this to do that. Where, as you recall, well, if we, let's see, I think I want to do it this way. So these are knobs that I'm cutting off. So I want the knobs lined up to the white. Ooh, I haven't tried this before, you all. This is so risky because we're still alive, but I really think I can do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So there they go. So you can definitely do that same skill that I taught you to get rid of those. So since they're knobs, I'm putting the knobs so that they're going over the edge. They're lined up with that little crease in the trimmer. And that's how you cut that off. I'm going to do one more in case you're like, what is she doing? That is what I'm doing. It's what I taught earlier. All right. Is that cool? So if you like the knobs, leave them. If you don't like the knobs, cut them. And that'll give you a totally different look. All right. So I hope that you watched my blog last week. I don't always do blogs. I really want to do one a month, but I'm not as good at doing that as I am on staying to my schedule Tuesdays. But on the blog that I did last week, it has lots of pages with wide open spaces is the name of that paper line, I think. So like 5 different page spreads. So you should go check it out. If you want to, that's at scrapbookwithbecky.com. Thank you so much for checking me out. And I hope y'all have a great week. Bye.